Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Smarketing Show. This week, we have movie director, writer, and producer with Matchbox Pictures, Greg A. Sager, joining us. Matchbox Pictures was established back in 2008 and is led by industry veterans, including yourself, Greg. You've created a number of films like Devil Seed, Kingdom Come, Gray Matter, and your most recent one is set to open next Tuesday, June 1st. It's called Open Your Eyes, and it will be available on demand, Blu-ray and DVD, which we will talk about in a few seconds. Before we get there, welcome to the show. And I want to start by asking you if you can explain to the viewers what makes Matchbox unique in terms of your entertainment offerings, because there are some things that you reference in your mission that I find really interesting.
Well, we always thought that, if we're gonna do this, basically, from our small town in Canada, we got to keep, put every dollar on the screen. So there's no bells and whistles as far as, trailers and that sort of things go. So we keep the production small, which keeps the budgets down, and it increases the chance of a better ROI for things. So, it's just one of those things that we put our hearts into this because it's at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that it's really about us servicing the story. Because you could have the greatest, you could blow things up, you can do all this, you can have all the money in the world, but that is still not going to fix a bad story. It just doesn't. So that's kind of our philosophy: story first, and then everything comes up. You got a good one, everything will come after that. So.
And I think a perfect example to what you just said is like, look at the movie Sharknado. Like, worst story ever, but production value wise, I don't even want to know how much money they spent on that. And yes, my 10-year-old is obsessed with it. But that being said, I love the fact that you guys are so focused around storytelling. And I want to ask you a little bit about how you use what's accessible and available to you as a producer, as a writer, as a director in Canada, because that's really important to your value and also the story behind everything that you do.
Yeah, so me being the writer, we kind of have our own intellectual property, so it's kind of ours. And I always, being the writer, and knowing that we're going to make this, it's not a spec script where it's just to sell. That's a different kind of writing. So I always have kind of the budget and just what things I know we have access to as I'm writing. Because I'll never write it's raining out, just for the fact that rain costs money unless it's actually raining. So we will film if it's raining, great, but I will never write that. So it's one of those things. Like, for an example, on Gray Matter, I'm writing it. I got, I don't know, halfway through, and I was getting to the bus part. Okay, can I get a bus? I knew Dwight, one of our partners. He works for one of the local bus companies here. So I call him up. I go, what's our chances of getting a city bus? He goes, well, 80%. Hung up the phone, and I continued writing. So that's kind of how we approach anything. I will not write anything that I know we don't have access to. So, and that saves time, money, and budget. And because in production, it's all about pre-production. The more of that you can do and get everything figured out before you get on the set, the smoother everything's going to run. Because when you're working on tight timelines and tight budgets, it's so crucial not to be spinning wheels on set. It's just, you got this many days and you got to go.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the challenges during COVID, but Rick, I know you have some questions, so I'll hand things over to you.
Yeah, first, Greg, I know you got your ratings coming up this week, so congratulations. Best of luck on that. I'm looking forward to seeing Open Your Eyes. We've got a lot of our customers that are in the wheelhouse that you just spoke to. They're on a budget. They need to make a high impact film. And it's by the way, about their business. So they don't have a professional actor. They don't have, all the gear to work with that you might. So I was wondering if you could speak to what might be, from a movie producer, director perspective, a structure someone could use for their business to create a movie, or a video, better yet, that would be maybe a little different than what most people see.
Well, I do some corporate and commercial work. So, and one thing I always found, like, the technology is just like, where was this technology when I started this 20 years ago? Like, it's insane. Like, just try to make yours look different than everybody else's. And that could just be from lighting, take the time, light it properly. Good image is always the great starting point. But I'm a firm believer as far know what you're saying, like messaging, you know. And another thing I'm a huge believer in that, you know, all my clients, I kind of stress and focus on it. And a lot of people are going to throw stuff when I say this. It's not really about the products or services you're selling. It's more about the feeling. When somebody's watching your video, you want to play to their emotions, whether it's, you know, I do some fashion stuff, and it's not about the clothing per se. It's more about the person watching this, you know, it's that feeling. You know, same with real estate, you know, it's more about lifestyle than that, you know, condo you're going to buy, especially, you know, these complexes where it's like, okay, I want to be that person having that, you know, after dinner party in this, you know. And that's the way I approach all my commercial work. It's, you know, it's you're playing to your audience's emotions. And that's the same with movie making. Like that's our goal, is to make people laugh, and laugh in the right spots when they're supposed to be laughing, cry when they're supposed to be crying, you know, be scared when they're supposed to be scared. It's all about focusing on people's emotions. And if you connect with them that way, you've already won half the battle. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Rick, we talk about that all the time. It's not the product, it's not the service, they're commodities. It's what does your product and service make your clients feel? How do you, like, what are your recommendations, Greg, on from a corporate perspective? So putting your corporate hat on, how do you advise on helping business owners or marketing leaders figure out what that is that they want them to feel? Like, how do they differentiate themselves from the competitors who are selling the same product, the same service? Like, how do you find that story?
Research. It's just like, what are the other people doing? You know, what are you going to do to set yourself apart? Like, everything's been done. Like, everything has been done to a certain degree, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, I do it all the time. I'll look at other things that are, you know, relatable, you know, that's happened in the past, and just going, you know, this will fit over here. You know, not saying it's all of something else, but bits and pieces. And it's just like, you know, until you know your audience, like, you know, a lot of people just put stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out. And I don't see a point in that. It's have a reason why you're putting this out and know who you're going after. And until you figure that out, you don't know what to do. You truly don't. You're just spending a lot of time on stuff that is not going to get you any traction.
Greg, we do a lot of coaching of salespeople and making selfie videos 1 minute, you know, we say as a run length. Do you have any tips on making your video stand out? Because so many videos have person frame, center of, you know, screen, talking, you know, monotone, etc. But do you have any ways, just easy tips that the layman could do to make their video stand out from the rest?
Okay, so going to your point about, you know, just kind of monotone sort of thing, video needs to be, if you feel like you're being a little bit over the top on video, you're not. You almost have to over exaggerate anything. Use your hands, you know. It's like there's simple things you can buy. Like, there's gimbals for your iPhone, shooting all your stuff on iPhone just for that constant social media stream. Get a gimbal, you know, they're $150 for your iPhone. And then get somebody to head back with you while you're doing your thing, because it's just that visual of somebody walking and talking is, you know, makes all the difference in the world. And lighting, of course.
What's a gimbal? What's a gimbal? Sorry,
it's a stable. It's a stabilizer. You just put your phone on it, and it keeps it nice and smooth and floaty looking.
It kind of looks like it looks like a jib, right? But it's sort of for your phone.
They're about this. Look, they're this big. They're very light, and you can whip it around. It'll just float. But it's
so
just
for us,
move the
camera. For us laymen, it sounds like a selfie stick with shock absorbers.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It's just it's not long like a selfie stick, but you can flip it around and do a selfie with it. But it's, you know, get somebody at your office just to film you and get some movement going.
Yeah.
Like, technology is so cheap and it's at everybody's fingertips. Like, you know, a couple $100 investment in something like that will, you know, return itself in no time, because it's going to make your videos more interesting, because attention spans are 0, you know, so you got to catch them right off the top.
Who should see this movie, Greg? Open Your Eyes, coming out next Tuesday.
Ooh, I think it'll resonate with more people than they think. You know, we had a hard time putting a genre to this, because it's, you know, we went with thriller. It's got a little bit of horror. It's, you know, drama, and in a nutshell, it's kind of it's a love story, you know.
Oh, you
and
got me a
it's,
love story.
yeah, it's a, well, in that kind of giant nut that we got, it's just, at the end of the day, it's a story about hope. And I think, you know, right now it's something that, you know, everybody kind of needs. So
Sounds like our team meetings with a little bit of horror, thriller, comedy, drama. We don't have much love, but you know, anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, congrats, buddy. A lot
Thank
of work,
you.
I'm sure, has gone into that, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see it, because I know on the sidelines you've had some very positive feedback, and you know, doing this during COVID. Hats off to you. Thanks very much, by the way, for video tips for people that are trying to do it themselves. I mean, here's a professional guy that's making real movies, telling you, in case you didn't pick it up, keep it short, make it personal, make them feel something. And I forget what you called it, but that shock absorber thing, I got to check into that myself.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations to yourself and to Gary and to Dwight and to everybody working on set. I think what you guys are doing is great. And for more information, you can check out the website, which is matchboxpictures.ca. And again, Open Your Eyes is being released on demand, Blu-ray and DVD, coming out next Tuesday, June 1st. So look forward, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Smarketing Show.
Thank you.
What do you do?
I'm a writer, screenwriter, actually.
Ah, like movies.
Yeah, like movies. Weird we haven't run into each other yet.
Yeah, I've seen you around.
Really?
Yeah, but in your defense, you sort of seem to be in your own world sometimes.
Hey there, little guy. Tell me something about yourself.
I think you probably know more than you think.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why am I here, Jason? I think we need to talk about this.
Talk about what?
The truth.
I'm sorry. I'm not some crazy nutcase, okay?
This isn't what you think it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess you're not ready for this. There you go. You're starting to see it.